Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Black as Fuck.
You ready to rock?
Ready to roll.
All
ready
right.
To rock, ready to roll.
Brotherhood language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is episode 8. I'm here. I'm your host, Alexander Asaf. I'm here with my partner in crime, aka Magneto, aka Iron Man, aka Metal Master, aka B Walt, aka Drake Hater, aka J. Cole fan, aka aka.
You know what? I was having this discussion earlier today. It's not that I hate Drake, because I like Drake in certain things. He's one of the few black people alive that shouldn't be allowed to say nigga. It just don't sound right when it comes out of his mouth. I don't know what it is. It just irks me a little bit. It might be a little light skin on light skin hate, but I don't dislike Drake. Like when he's done like acting and stuff. I like what he's done. Like he did a State Farm commercial that was hilarious.
So there's certain lanes you like Drake in.
Right. I mean, I'm not the type of person who's gonna be like, he can't. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. It's just me personally. I prefer him as a singer and an actor. The rapping part, though, like, I mean,
the thing he's known for, you're not fucking with it.
The rapping part is kind of like, I just don't buy it that you a tough guy, bro. Like, I just don't.
Nah, I hope that's not what he's portraying, because there's no thug in him.
No. So, I mean, he does the love tracks and stuff for the girls, but I mean, he's done some battle tracks and he's been trying to come to some people. I mean, he had a.
Well, we know what happened with that though. He got murked. He got murked
when he was dealing with dudes that we grew up listening to, but he didn't get murked dealing with these mumble tards.
You talking about my man from Philly? I can't think of his name right now.
Meek Mill.
Yeah, you talking about because he murdered Meek Mill? He murdered Meek Mill. Let's be clear. That was
he did, but you know what? We ain't here to talk about none of that. So, but I'm just to clear the air. I like Drake in certain lanes. I do. Just like I prefer Steph Curry in certain lanes. Like play ball, don't do that shimmy and shit, bro. Because you like a light-skinned representative in the NBA. So when you do shimmy and shit, when you hit the three, like I got an answer for that on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, seriously. Like when I was growing up, dude, I'm telling you, and I know we way off topic. We should have been started talking about comic books. But when I was growing up, whenever some notable light-skinned dude did some questionable shit, people was looking at me like, that's how y'all get down? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's how we get down. Like, come on.
You represented the entire subculture within the...
Right. You know how, like, if you're the only black person somewhere, like some white person be like, so do, black people, it's like that internally where, like when Busy Bone came out, everybody thought I could rap like him. I wish I could because he could flow, but no. Everybody was like... Buster 16, Sam in the ham and the hen, and I couldn't do it, bro. Like that ain't me, man.
You're not gonna miss everybody. You're not gonna miss everybody.
I understand everybody. No, I couldn't do that. But it's the same thing when Steph Curry. I mean, I was still playing ball when Steph first came out. I don't play no more because I'm old. But he would do some dope but foul shit to somebody on the other team. Hit a shot and then do this little shit here or that little. Like, bro, you look like a backup dancer, G. Like, just stop lip gloss popping and play D. Like, but I had the answer for that. Like, people would be like, so that's what y'all do on the court? It's like, no. First of all, I can't shoot like dude. I don't make the money like dude. And I'm definitely not, shimmying in the middle of the court.
You're not doing the Mark Jackson? I think that's what it's he's paying homage to his first coach, his first real coach. The coach that should have got them to the chip.
But we don't should have got them chips, yeah.
Yeah, but we're definitely off topic. But nonetheless, Drake murdered Meek Mill. on to our first topic. Let's see. Let's start with the Boondocks stuff. Let's talk about this Boondocks situation.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Boondocks is set to come out again for what, the fifth time now?
This would be
in 2022. This would be season 5.
Yeah.
So it's been at that point it'll be over 10 years, bro. Or almost, no. What was that, 2014?
When does season 4 come out?
I want to say 2014. So at least 7 years. At least 7 years. But remember, 2014, the last season, Aaron Magruder wasn't on that season. He had left the show at that point. Rodney Barnes had taken over. And Sony was trying to, they were poisoning the show anyway. They didn't want it to go to syndication where they really got to pay them black people. I live in color. I live in color. I learned that from you. Thank you. But Aaron Magruder is back, so that's a good sign. The white people at HBO Max who own the rights are just loving the fact that Magruder is back and his vision is in play, and he's excited to talk about things, through his art in the same sense that he did back in the day.
We should take a step back and thank Issa Rae for that. Because Issa Rae is the one making all that real black content, and HBO's like, oh, okay, these niggas know what they're doing. Like, she needs to be thanked for that. Because when she started doing Insecure, well, she did the black girl thing on YouTube, Aqua Black Girl thing, and then she made it to HBO, and that show's phenomenal. You and I both know people who've been on the show, part of the show, whatever, and it's a good show. It's a great show.
My barbershop's been in that show. My barber's been in that show. We've done 2 events, and those venues have been in the show. Like, Ron G's been in the show.
Right.
So, yeah, it's almost like a cousin I don't see. I'm happy for it. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite restaurants that ain't open no more, but they shot a very important scene in the show there too. Yeah, I mean, but the point is, I think she kind of is opening their eyes, like, they know what they're doing.
She's Serena Williams' the situation over at HBO. I'm pregnant. White girl. I'm pregnant.
They'll beat you bitches. Right.
Now, shout out to Issa Rae. We got to get her on the show one day for sure. I would love to have her on the show.
Oh man, I don't fanboy often, but that'd be awesome. Issa, how's it going? She's amazing. Like, talk about people that young black girls can look up to, like on some real, like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So thank you, Issa, for getting Aaron back into the situation.
I mean, she got to get credit at some level. I don't know if she was in the room shaking hands, but
I get because I mean, you and I both know, being in this game, like, one has to get it right for them to give another one a chance. Mm-hmm. Don't let nobody fool you, because that was the same situation 20 years ago. It's the same situation now. There's just a lot more of volume in terms of, me and you grow up, there was like 9 major channels, you know what I'm saying? And then cable. Now you got like now you got like 400 times the amount of opportunities, but it's still one black person per one show.
There's a British version of Issa Rae, and a girl's name I can't remember, but I've seen her in a couple of things. She's really good too. She's created a couple of series. One was on Netflix. I know she has one on HBO. I can't think of her name right now.
I have not seen it. But
she's similar. Yeah,
this so you kind of halfway with this whole Boondocks situation now.
I'm gonna watch it because I like the Boondocks, but there's a lot of key people that aren't gonna be in it. I mean, they might get some people who can do similar voiceover work, like how they did with what was that movie? The Robin Harris movie that Robin Harris wasn't in because he was
Bebe's Kiss.
He had already passed away. And so
Right.
they got Faison Love or something to do the voice of Robin Harris.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but you can't fake Pops. You can't
Pops
fake
is gone.
Mr. Witherspoon.
Ed Wunsler is gone.
Ed Wunsler is gone. Charlie Murphy is gone.
Rest in power to both of them.
Right.
And I was watching some Michael Jordan earlier today and his Hall of Fame speech. And okay, for those that are going to hear this and don't know who Leroy Smith is, Michael Jordan was cut from his high school team. And the guy that took his spot, the last spot on the team, his name was Leroy Smith. Michael Jordan is an asshole. Michael Jordan invited Leroy Smith down to his Hall of Fame speech. He flew him out. He bought the ticket. He sat him in the 21st row and talked about how the coach made a mistake and I had to prove it to Leroy Smith and the coach. I say all that to say, like this is between like Boondocks seasons and stuff like that. Charlie Murphy did a sketch, him acting as Leroy Smith, trying to sell like his version of the Jordans, but he was Leroy Smith. And it was hilarious. It was because it was just Charlie Murphy talking about, "Hi, I'm Leroy Smith. Buy my shoes." You know, he was just all just like, he showed the same bummy ass shoes and was like, "Buy my shit." It was funny. And I'm gonna miss Charlie Murphy. I miss him already. For those that don't know, The Health Inspector season 1 is my favorite all-time episode. That's where Jen Rummy and Ed Wunsler III are introduced, aka Samuel L. Jackson and Charlie Murphy acting as two wiggers, like in the situation, shooting people, smacking, taking chains, running them off of camera, and then popping 2 shots. I said, this show's not coming back. It's not coming back. And it did, and I've been a fan ever since. And I'm kind of like you, though. Like, I want to see it. I want it to do well. But it's kind of like A Living Color when they was talking about rebooting that, and that took a while, and they didn't do it because they knew they couldn't capture what they used to have. It might be a little too late. We're super sensitive now. You got principal characters that are no longer in play. I want it to succeed. I just really don't know if I really believe that, though. That's where I'm at with it. Am I gonna watch it? Yeah, because I got HBO Max, and that's the best streaming platform out there. Thank you, HBO. Thank you. We got to get them to sponsor something we do, because I pump them up every episode. But yeah, I want it to succeed. We'll see what happens. And I know this, you know this, because you're a writer. Writing takes a lot of time, right?
You're really learning this, aren't you? You're learning this now.
Bro.
Everybody thought, oh, he ain't doing shit when he's talking about me. Oh, I'm working on something. Yeah, that nigga ain't doing it. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Another writer told me this a long time ago. It was my 300 level course writing teacher in college. She taught memoir, and she said something along the lines that being a writer is like never leaving school. It's like being in school for the rest of your life. Because you do research all the time. It's like having to write book reports for a bunch, for yourself almost. And so, yeah, I remember she told me, and it's true. Like if you really get into that shit, like, and it's hard to turn that stuff around sometimes. And we flipped a masterful script between the two of us. It took 3-4 days to write the script, but how much planning did you put into creating it? Right, it was months.
Right, like half a year, and then
right.
and the thing was, I didn't know how to write, especially back then. So, I'm thankful for that, and y'all are gonna get that one day, trust me. But Magruder doesn't write fast. So, because remember, they said that this was coming back in 2019. This is pre-COVID. Kobe was still here. Chadwick was still, like, so much has changed since they first announced this. And, I think the farther they get away from it, it's kind of like, I played Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out like a year ago. I played the second one in 05. That's how I feel about Boondocks right now. Like people got married, they got kids now. There's a dog running around somewhere. Like none of that is me, but I got friends to do that. Like it's just a different situation. So hopefully, either way, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not expecting too much because of season 4.
No.
I mean,
No.
even though Magruder is the shit and he's back and he's at the helm, I mean, still, some stuff just loses its luster too. Like you said, I mean, if it comes from a different time, like Boondocks came right before. I say Boondocks was the generation before people started being real sensitive about shit. Right. And now, and that was still a generation before now. So now people nowadays, you can't even make a joke without people cancel that motherfucker. Boondocks.
Right.
If you took Boondocks season 1 and released it today, do you know how many people have a problem with that shit? Do you know how many people have a problem with that shit?
It would have premiered one day and got canceled the next.
Right.
Right.
And Aaron McGruder would have been labeled a racist the next day.
Right.
The next day. So
are we? Is this a premonition? Are we saying this is going to happen in 2022?
I hope it doesn't. But like in the state of affairs in the world right now, people are walking on eggshells across the board. And I mean, we ain't gonna get into politics or social shit, but at some level, I know that it's needed and it's justified. But then at some level, it's like, come on, man, like, come on.
Yeah, it's too tight.
Right.
It's too tight, in my opinion.
You want to cancel racist characters from the 40s and 50s? Be my fucking guest, whatever, But if they were to take the Boondocks and start chopping that shit up, I'd be like, fuck. Like, there's no point to watching it now. Granddad couldn't exist. Granddad couldn't exist.
No.
Uncle Ruckus couldn't exist. Wundler couldn't exist.
Bro, the episode, going back to my episode, these white boys, voice acted by these two black people, shot an Arab in the show in front of a white cop.
Right. Now
that got shut up.
Right. Clearly they was trying to prove a point, and it was definitely juxtaposed against the Bush administration on that. Everybody understands that now, looking back on it. But
it's tight right now, bro. It's a little too tight.
Yeah, I mean, because we like I said, we wrote a masterful script in 3 days, and we had to do some modifications on that because you were like, shit is funny, but
that's got to be in the DVD extras. That's got to be a special feature.
Right.
We already got to get
the
last money.
The last section of the special features too. It's gonna be labeled. Do you want to click this? So I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. But if it's all watered down, I won't be surprised.
I just hope it doesn't feel like season 4. That's what I'm really. Season 1 or 2, I'm with. Season 3, it was up and down. Season 4 was a sabotage all the way through.
I never even finished watching season 4 because I watched the first episode and was like, this shit is whack.
Exactly.
Like, it was just so bad. Like,
yeah, and that was all intentional. We're rooting for you, Aaron. Get it right for all of us. We believe in you. Moving on to our next comic, who isn't black, but he's not white either, even though he's accepted by both. He's killing it. His name is Keanu Reeves. We've already done a feature on him, on his new comic Berserker that he owns, that he created, that he co-writ. That's about a guy that looks like him, and yada yada yada. Like, I'm not gonna yada 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 because it's actually good. The comic has sold over 600,000 copies. Since we've done the feature? Was that 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
Wasn't that last week? No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
So now, as it was just announced today, or when you guys watch this is Monday, March 22nd, 2022. A lot of twos in there. He's getting a live action movie and an anime adaptation of his created comic book universe, Berserker. And guess who's starring in the live action?
It's gotta be him.
It's definitely him. Yeah, it's definitely him. And guess who's writing the anime adaptation?
It's got to be him. Is it him?
It's him. It's him. He is. Keanu's gone through some shit. I've always rooted for him. I've always been a fan. Like, I'm going back to Bill and Ted. I've been a fan. This is how you flip the game. He owns it. He wrote it. He's in it. It's got a book. It's got a movie. It's got an anime. Like, yo, good job, man. I need to learn from you. And he didn't even put up his own money, which he could have. He did a Kickstarter. The fans said, yes, we want some more Keanu. Do that other John Wick and then bring this other. Keep doing action. That's the new category. Are you doing a Keanu movie? That's action movies now. Like,
pretty much.
Like, fuck Tom Cruise. That's
and he still does pretty good, but you're right. Keanu basically got yeah.
Tom is still yelling at white people right now on set. And I respect him for it.
Hey, put your fucking mask on.
We are their gold standard. There's 100,000 jobs. And this is not staged. But nah, I'm not gonna read the comic, but I got Netflix. I got a password. I'm gonna do that. I'm into anime more so than even B Walt. So I'm gonna do that too. And I'm gonna be high and I'm gonna enjoy myself. And probably by the time that comes out, John Wick 4 will probably be out. Him riding on the horse, finishing that off. So, Keanu, congrats on the new win, bro. Congrats on the new win.
Do we have any news of when John Wick 4 is coming? Have we seen?
I don't know, bro. His Berserker's killing. He's literally created a new universe for himself. Berserker. There's no vowels in Berserker. It's just all beastie, baby. It's all B's, R's, a couple R, like more R's. And
so, who Keanu got a call to fix Cyberpunk 2077 already? Because I told you I bought that and I was willing to destroy my PlayStation because Homeboy was in it. So
I forgot he was in that.
I need him to make a phone call about that. Just make a phone call about that for me. I just still want to play it.
I think he's like, bro, I don't own it. If I owned it, it'd be great. I don't own it.
That's your Keanu?
That's my first time doing a Keanu. It's my first time. I'm going to have a better one later. I might wear a suit.
Whoa.
I could do the air guitar. I could do that, but,
Hey, Bill.
Excellent. Whoa. Bro.
Oh, we forget. He's coming out with the next Matrix is supposed to be dropping this summer.
Another Keanu movie.
Right. It's going to be dope because he's in it. It is what it is.
The winner for Best Keanu Movie of the Year is
Keanu.
Winner
for the Best Keanu Anime. Keanu.
The nominees for Best Keanu Movie of the Year are Keanu Reeves in Berserker, Keanu Reeves in John Wick, Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. And the winner is Samuel L. Jackson in Snakes on the Plane 7. I told you, motherfuckers. That was more Bernie Mac. I'm working on it. Got to walk through it. But I'm with it, bro. I'm with it. Like you said, I've been a Keanu fan for a minute. But comics and movies, we're just going down the river right now. Now this is, I'm excited about the character B. Walt knows this is my favorite director. I watched The Prestige 8 times last month, and then watched the breakdown on it by some random white guy who broke the movie down in an hour 12 times. Listen, man, it has been reported that Christopher Nolan is joining the MCU as a director. Now, it hasn't been confirmed. He's what's been confirmed is that he spoke with Marvel. But the movie or the franchise, that is under speculation. The speculation right now, by process of elimination, I feel like Malcolm X right now. I got to flagellate my facilities and demographics and horizontals. But the character, the franchise, is that Christopher Nolan will be doing Silver Surfer. Now, all this is fire to me. All of this. Because they have, Fox literally ruined one of the best characters in Marvel in 90 minutes. And that was forever ago. It's long overdue. I think this is a perfect character for him. I think it's time for Nolan to jump into the MCU. I'm excited about that. If it's Silver Surfer and Nolan, bro, I'm getting the official limited edition 1 day only box set with the 7 disc. Whatever it can be $112, bro. I'm getting it. I'm all in. B-Wall, how you feel?
I'm with it if they bring Lawrence Fishburne back to voice the Silver Surfer.
See, that's a low key good. That was the one thing they got right.
Right.
That was the one thing. Other 97, they fucked up. But Lawrence Fishburne's voice was perfect. Like, it was perfect for the character. They're probably not gonna do it though. You know they're not.
Well, he technically he's in the MCU now as Goliath.
Well, that isn't. I mean,
but Silver Surfer is probably gonna have to be mostly a CGI character anyway, and I think he can do it.
I think he should absolutely do it. I don't know who else. I mean, you know, Keith David can't do everything. He already does everything.
Yeah, I want it to be Lawrence Fishburne. Like that, it just fits.
It feels right.
He's got one of the best authoritarian voices. I'll keep him right up there with James Earl Jones as far as voices. And you can't have James Earl Jones do Silver Surfer because there's Darth Vader. Like, I mean, you know, let Lawrence
he led the way of being the black voice for the white man.
Right. So Fishburne could do that, following some footsteps, a good time-honored tradition.
Let me ask you this: did Disney bring back James Earl to do the voice for Vader?
I believe so. I believe so because Vader turned to Vader in that third one. What was it? The Sith, Return of the Sith, or something like that.
Yeah, that wasn't. What was the? You know Star Wars better than me. The
Rogue One.
Yeah, was that James Earl?
I'm pretty sure. Sounded like it.
So then there's hope then for Lawrence coming over.
But Vader didn't have that big of a role in Rogue One. Not like that. I mean, he was in it, but
he had the role I needed. He had the role I cared about. Motivation, prey, and an enclosed hallway. Open the door. Open the door. I gotta go, nigga. You on your own.
Yeah, he was Vader in Rogue One.
You just okay.
Yeah.
So Disney just get it right. You got Nolan. Tell Nolan. Nolan knows. He knows it's right. Nolan, do the thing. Get Fishburne and the Silver Surfer, bro.
Yeah, if you give Nolan something complex, he's gonna do something with it.
I mean, Silver Surfer. That means Galactus. You know who that means to me. That's Dr. Doom. Like, oh man. And then I'm not some aficionado on Silver Surfer. But from what I know is when Galactus made him the Silver Surfer from his when he was Norman Rad, I believe his name was.
Norman Rad.
Norrin. Yeah, he took his memory. So, Nolan and a lack of a memory, those things, that's like peanut butter and jelly.
Magical.
That's a good 90 minutes. Pay attention to the inserts. That's all you got to do. But yeah, just make it happen. I mean, for those that don't know, Nolan's last 6 movies have done over $4.5 billion. They've won 10 Academy Awards from 31 nominations.
Wait a minute. Does in that timeline, does Cosmic Spider-Man fall into that?
Yes.
Because you're talking Galactus, right? So
yes.
Cosmic Spider-Man was one of my favorite Spider-Man comics back in the day. As you can see here.
Look at the flex.
The Cosmic Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Take it out the plastic, smell it. The Cosmic Spider-Man. And since the mutants are supposed to be coming, and I mean, there's so many things that they can do.
Right.
That if Nolan has his hands on it, I would feel comfortable with it. I think it's perfect.
Yeah,
he takes complex shit and he does a great job with it. He does a good job with really digging into the psyche of the character too. And I tell you what, I think whoever wrote WandaVision literally did the same thing I did. They just watched Prestige on repeat, because if anybody's seen WandaVision, that is, to me, that's Nolan through and through. Just the way they approach the story and the structure and how they make sure you got to pay attention to things and you can watch it again and get something else from it. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. I want that to happen. I'm a Nolan fan. I thought Tenet was good. I need to see it again, but I think that's what he wanted me to do. So are you going to pull out Tenet too? I got Tenet over here.
You bought Tenet.
Oh, yeah. I got to support Denzel Jr.
You motherfucker. Oh, has he got DVD commentary on there? Director commentary? I
don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look. But it is the Blu-ray, so that I play in my PS5.
This quarantine is keeping me from my own headquarters. How I'm a supervillain that's disguised as a superhero can't get to his own headquarters. You just gonna sip your drink, huh? You just gonna.
It all depends on where you got quarantined at, buddy.
You know where I got quarantined at. Going out my fucking mind. All right, man. Let's keep moving. That's enough about Nolan, but we're waiting. So, what's that? What I was looking at my notes.
I'm making sure Cosmic Spider-Man gets back home safely. Oh, that's Cosmic Spider-Man, bro.
Let's keep it with the Marvel stuff. It was announced last week. Marvel has unveiled its gay Captain America, set to debut in June, officially, in regards to Pride Month. The character is named Aaron Fisher and will be a part of a mini-series called The United States of Captain America, where past, present, and I guess other Captain Americas go looking for Steve Rogers' shield. And they come across different characters that not necessarily posing as Captain America, but they've taken on the moniker in their own way. And, this is something I think is necessary. I don't want to sound like it's not. Reading from what I've seen, so in the storyline, he protects the homeless, youth, and runaways. He's discovered by the original Steve Rogers and the 3 other characters, and that launches the mission for the Shield. The illustrator behind Aaron Fisher is Jan Bazaldua, I believe. I hope I said that right. I hope I did. Who sees himself as transgender. And so, he's excited about this. He's motivated by it. He's glad to be a part. Marvel has done this before. DC has done this before. This is the one time I felt like this one had like some legitimacy to it. I think me and you talked about it before we had the podcast. Actually, no, I think when we first started back in 2019, Marvel had retconned Iceman from back in the day. Do you remember that? Yeah, and they said, "Oh yeah, Bobby Drake is gay now." It was like, what the fuck are you talking about? How you just gonna make him gay after 45 fucking years?
But like, didn't that happen for a couple of characters across the aisle? I mean, even in DC, they had the Green Lantern.
Right, the original Green Lantern. They made right. All these old whiteheads now they gay, like as they like really 75 in real life. Like it's. But I felt like here's the thing. They're doing this for this is a business. So they're doing this for a certain audience and to attract a certain audience. So let's just make that clear. Out of the other times it's been done, I feel like this is the most contextual approach they've done to it. I think they learned from their mistakes with the Iceman thing, because I felt like that was such a that was like a move. That was like doing it for the gram almost by Marvel. Like they were just doing it just to be doing it. Like, oh, we got a character that's gay and he's somewhat popular. You ain't put Iceman out since fucking Age of Apocalypse. He's never been the same. He's one of the most OP dudes in the whole universe of Marvel. And now you're making him gay. I ain't seen him in 8 years. Like, get the fuck out of here. But I think this could be a good character. Do I plan on reading it? No, but this ain't for me. So, and if John Bazaldua, I don't even know if I said that right this time, if he's motivated by it, I think that's a good thing. Your thoughts, B. Walt? I'm done.
Gay Captain America.
This one's gay. They're going to come across different characters that represent or be Captain America in their own little mini adventures through the series.
I think you know me. I think representation is definitely important. I think it's
sure,
and it's definitely needed.
Right.
I like the fact that this kid isn't Captain America, and then Captain America wakes up one day and says, I'm gay now. I'm glad that this is a new person.
Right.
I hope that he's not. How do I put this? When you create a black character, you hope that he's not defined by only you hope that his
just the fact that he's black.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's black, but there's other things that he brings, like his blackness.
That's a part of the story.
It's a part of it, but it's not the story.
Right.
So, I mean, and I ain't gay, so I'm not really trying to speak for anybody in the LG. I get the letters confused. LG.
You're on your own, bro. I'm not. I've already fucked up his last name twice.
Right, but I get the letters confused. LG. I'm gonna look it up.
BTQ.
Yeah, but they, the last couple of years they added a couple of letters.
See.
So just give me a second. LG BTQIA.
Oh, you weren't playing like.
No. And see, the one thing about that community is they're inclusive. Or you're not. I think we're called cis, like. I think that's what our label is, like cis hetero or something like that. But anyway, don't want to get off topic. I think that if it's a full-on character and they really focus on his story, and of course, being a gay man is a part of it. Of course, that needs to be shown, but don't make him like a. And I don't think they would do this, not in today's time. Don't make him like a stereotypical gay dude. Yeah, just what I'm saying? Because I got gay friends that, they gay, but they don't. That doesn't really define who they are as a whole. Like it's an important piece, but it's not the only piece. So I hope that's not like the only part of the guy. Yeah, it has to be other stuff. Like with Peter Parker, he had a lot going for him, and that's what people related to him. With characters, they have to be with central, and I hope he is a central character. But with a central character, there has to be deeper elements to him for like a reader to connect to him. I'm not a white kid from New York, but I grew up kind of outcasted. I was a nerd. I was into all the shit. And I related to Peter Parker because he grew up. He was poor. Like he had a bunch of other elements for me to go, oh, okay, I see
commonalities.
Right, he had a lot of commonalities with, and so with characters like that, I think flesh him out and make him a whole character. Don't make him some secondary character, some background dude. And I am glad that he is his own person and he's not like some old character that's, oh, I'm gay now to try to make him relevant again. I'm not with that. I don't like that. I think that's lazy, honestly.
Right, exactly. It's like, oh, we're not using Bobby. We need an X-Men that needs to be gay. Let's turn Bobby gay.
Right.
Like Bobby done got more comic pussy than like out of the X-Men.
That's like what I'm saying. Like that's why that didn't make any sense to me. Like Bobby the Iceman, like
right. I'm sure he made an ice condom and smash Rogue. I'm sure he did.
Iceman was smacking so much mutant cheek, man. Come on, man. And then all of a sudden, come on, man. Like that, I didn't buy that neither. It felt like it was
it was mad forced. It was just like get the fuck out of here with that. Now this like contextually, this feels genuine. I can say that.
Right. As long as he's genuine and I'm with it. I just hope that, like I said, he's not a parody.
Right. Right. We'll see. It's a mini series, so I don't know where they're gonna go with the character, but I think that's up to the audience.
Don't they usually? Yeah, they usually do mini series to test the popularity of a character.
Yeah, you've said that before. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I mean, because you got to see what's hot and what's not. Right. I mean, because if you think about the history of Marvel, there's a shit ton of characters that they created that just didn't go nowhere because people didn't really like them. Some of them was real fucking corny and campy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like they came out in a different era. So you look at them like, why the fuck would they think this was cool? But it came like they tried to release this guy in like the 60s. And it was like, oh, okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? He don't really stand up. Like homie would not be, hitting the streets in the new millennium and shit. So I hope with Homeboy, I hope he ain't the only one, and I hope, like I said, they flesh him out as a full character, and I guess we just see what happens. If he's popular, cool. If not, I hope they continue to develop these characters, and continue to generate better representation for different groups that have been, looked over for so long or overlooked for so long.
And to that point, me and we both know people like this, and there will always be people like this. Like, how can I put this? Don't bitch just for the sake of bitching. I'm talking about the audience. Like, you can't say Marvel isn't attempting to, reach a certain or new audience and then don't show up or don't support. And it's not like, look, if it's good, it's good. Like that, just across the board. If it connects with you, it connects with you.
Right.
But there has to be effort on both sides. You know what I mean? in terms of the consumer and the creator. So I just would hate for somebody. It bothers the hell out of me, like someone that just bitches about whatever's going on, and they won't do anything about it. And then if said entity or person actually attempt something, the person bitching still is like that. Like,
talking about toxic fanboy or fangirl activity.
Right. They really don't want the problem solved. They just want something to talk about. Right. And it's like that. No, like hopefully the character's done well.
Representation matters, and you said the writer is actually of the LGBTQ.
He sees himself as trans. The illustrator is a transgender.
The illustrator is. What about the writer?
The writer, well, the creator is coincidentally, which I don't believe in. His name is Aaron Trujillo. Trujil. Trujillo. Yeah. So the article I read didn't have much on him. But does it matter if he's gay or not gay? Not necessarily, but you would hope that somebody that can speak to those experiences is in charge. Right. Which I think is what you're speaking to.
Right.
Regarding that, like you don't want some white person telling you what Black culture is. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
I think all of us have gone through that. You're right. So because of that, if you're creating stories, but see, here's the thing. Because it's really gonna matter. Like, it's really gonna matter what that Captain America character, where he falls under that umbrella of the LGBTQIA. You know,
nice job. Way to go. You knocked it out.
I remember now. I've said it to myself a couple times. But
I'm still working on this last.
I think actually there's a plus after the IA now too. Like, I mean, there's so many. Like, no, they like. I'm serious. Because it's often used as an umbrella term to talk about those that aren't hetero. So and all the different ways I guess you can go. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like if the writer, I'm hoping that it's coming from a place of authenticity. So like whatever this guy is, like whatever he identifies as directly, the character, that you have somebody who identifies as that, giving you some background knowledge, it'll make it more realistic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Because now that we're talking about it, how does him being homosexual factor in him being, some sort of superhero? You know what I mean? Like, how does that, you've clearly established or, proclaimed that that's a part of the narrative. In what way? Rhetorically speaking.
Right. So maybe his love interest. But see, again, like none of that stuff. Your sexual orientation does not determine what you're good and not good at outside.
Yeah, who you are as a person.
Right. It doesn't determine that at all. So that's what I'm like. You really need somebody who's going through that to like really, who's living that life to really kind of illustrate that experience for other folks to understand. Like, with the exception of very few movies that have come out that was written by white folks about Black folks, for the most part, I don't relate to movies unless I can really see myself in those places. And if you look at those types of movies where Black people was just thrown in as a prop or Black people, right, or Black people are just thrown, or what's the term I'm looking for? They're over. You know what I'm saying? Like they uber Black by the definition of what some white person would say.
Oh, right.
You get what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at like, because there's movies
that ain't me.
Right, there's movies out where it's like this brother is too niggerish. It's like, come on. And I'm from the South Side of Chicago, and I know some niggas. Okay, and I've seen some shit where it's like, man, they don't even do that. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is way, like, this is like from some racist white man's wet dream of what they really think we be doing, and it's like I don't want that. Like, if just don't do that with this gay character. He's gay, right? He's a gay man,
Yeah.
right? Don't do that with him, where it's like, oh, everything has to do with his sexuality or whatever stereotype the heterosexual men would have about him. Leave that shit out. Because if people see that, then it's gonna fail, and it should, because that's trash and that's stereotyping, and we ain't got no time for that kind of stuff no more. Like, it's like, get that shit out of it. So as long as they don't do that, I mean, if it's good, I would read it. But I have to,
Well,
I have to feel like it's legit.
I'm very picky about when it comes to comics, who I'm going to read. Either, the character I got to be a fan of, or the writer. Shout out to Ed Brubaker. Like, it's got to be something along those lines. I don't know, in terms of like the credits, I don't know anybody's work. Like, I don't know where they came from what I've been through. But I think either way, I think we're both just saying like, yo, just get the shit right. Like, for the audience that you wanted to speak to. And that, through that, it'll resonate to other people because of the commonalities, So we'll see. That's in June. That was announced last week. We forgot to mention, or I forgot to mention, shout out to Pistol Pete Markezevich. He is not going to be on the show tonight, as you can clearly see. He's got a family issue. We're going to respect his space and hope he gets things situated and everybody's going to be okay. We do miss him, and hopefully we'll have him back on the show very soon.
Pistol Pete Markezevich.
With that being said, we will not be doing the dance with WandaVision, or not WandaVision, Winter Soldier, because he was supposed to lead the dance because he's the only one that had seen it. So,
well, we can let's just get to that Snyder cut, because somebody watched it.
We got to get to the Snyder cut.
Somebody watched it today. Oh,
someone did their homework
today.
Rev ain't right. This church ain't white.
Bruh, I did extra homework today, son. I was like, in the middle
you could tell by his eyes.
Yeah, hey, man, nigga, I was in the middle of some meetings and shit, nigga, and I still had it planned, bro. I was like, I'm getting through this 4-hour long ass journey.
Right. All right. Yeah, so we got to talk about the Snyder cut. Dropped, what was it, Friday?
Hold on, before we get into it, I just want to give a quick shout out. She's never going to listen to this, but I don't care. I have to give a quick shout out to that elderly Asian woman who beat the shit out of that white boy that tried to fuck with her out in the streets. It was up north. It was all in the news. It's just these crazy little white supremacists is running around acting a fool. And this dude tried to attack this elderly woman. She had to have been in her 70s, man. And she did get injured, but she beat the fucking brakes off of that dude, man. They had to carry him away in a stretcher. His face was all bloody. And she's standing there with a bat or something in her hand. So much, in fact, she's gotten so much attention that people are like making t-shirts with her on it with this bat. Like, she's like a folk hero now. And I just have to give a shout out to the lady. I don't even remember what her name is, but the story was fascinating. I love to see that. I love to see that. Dude overstepped his bounds and she mollywopped his ass. She foosh-snickered him. She bumped the fuck out of that guy, and they had to carry this bitch ass off in the stretcher.
That's funny.
So I just had to give us, because we talking about heroes. There you go. That's
right.
A real one. And she took his ass out. She took him out. I was like, I hated that she had to go through it, but I love the outcome. But she knocked the shit out of that motherfucker.
And this is he just one of those I forget their name. Proud Boys or some shit. One of them.
I don't know if he's a proud kid or whatever they call themselves, but he's definitely one of these idiots that got caught up in that wave of assuming that every Asian person in this country has something to do with the fucking coronavirus.
People still think that.
Bro, this is the most retarded stuff ever. Look, and I'm probably not even supposed to use that term, but let's just be realistic about this. Okay? If y'all's president, the guy that y'all fought so hard to vote for, the guy that y'all still think won the election, even though he didn't. If y'all's president would have told us when he first heard about the virus, 600,000 people would probably still be alive right now. Or maybe not as many would be dead anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't stop everybody from dying from a virus you don't understand. It was a novel virus. Nobody really knew what was going on with it when it hit. The problem was the shit hit 3 months before anybody knew about it. We were still doing shows when the shit was circulating through California. Any one of us could have got sick from that. And it was because of that orange piece of shit's fucking administration that didn't nobody know what was going on. And these are the same fucking idiots out here that believe in this guy, that worship this guy like some fucking demigod, that's going around fucking with these Asian people. And just to see that story of her knocking the shit out of that stupid inbred piece of shit made me really motherfucking happy. Because if I was there, bruh, if I was there, he wouldn't have needed no fucking stretcher. Him and the rest of them goofy, stupid monkey motherfuckers. Anyway, shout out to the lady with the bat. I'm gonna find out her name because she a G, bro. She's a fucking G.
That's funny.
G.
Nah, I didn't hear about that. I did not. I was probably still watching the credits from Snyder Cut because B-Wall knows, like if the movie's 2 hours, it's gonna take me 4 to watch it because of the way I watch it. So you put a 4-hour movie in front of me, I gotta start early, I gotta get lunch, and then I gotta come back and finish it off before I leave at 5. And that's what my Saturday was. You go first though, which is fresh in your mind. You just did that. So what you thinking?
Okay, so I have to be honest with you. I approached the movie
Skeptical.
Trying to pick it up. No, I wanted to pick it apart and point out all the things that I didn't like. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that because even with the Marvel movies, there's a bunch of plot holes in all of them. It's not going to fit directly into the comic book. It's not going to mirror the comic book directly. So
continuity differences.
Yeah, there's always going to be continuity differences. We know that. I know that. And I was being unfair. I was mad at I was holding a grudge against the previous director, and I shouldn't have done it. I should have gave homie a shot. Speaking
of which, I gotta jump in real quick because we both agree that the movie's fire. Like, right? We're in agreement with that.
I'm gonna say it's hot. I don't know if I'm gonna go so far as to say fire.
Okay, we'll get into that later. That's fine. I think legitimately the movie's fire, but I'm saying all this to say, if Josh Whedon was black and he did that with that movie, he'd never work again. He would never work again.
I heard he was an asshole on set and he was being a racist and all kinds of other stuff too.
Ray Fisher went off on him. Ray Fisher got fired going off on him. He did Buffy back in the day when it was a television show. Like all those 40, 50-year-old women from back then that was 20 and 21, they like, yeah, he sexually assaulted me, he was abusive, blah, blah, blah. Like all of that, like just true piece of shit. And then he puts out that movie and they had this footage for 4 years. Like, if he was black, he did any of this, he would never work again, bro. He would never work again. And that's how shitty his cut was, and that's how dope this one was. That's my point in saying that. So I digress, but not really. Please continue, good sir.
Let me just say this. I had a couple of reasons and personal experience to believe that it wasn't going to be all it was hyped up to be, because all the other ones were lukewarm movies. The rest of the DCU, if that's what it's called, were all lukewarm. The best being Wonder Woman, which the first one was solid, the second one was trash. Then you had Man of Steel, which was it's a B minus, but you know me and Superman. And then you had Suicide Squad, which was like straight ass. And then again, you have Aquaman,
which is water ass.
it's water ass, right?
And then you got Green Lantern.
It's bidet. It's toilet booty.
It's a dingleberry. Green Lantern is green ass. That's green shit.
Yeah, Green Lantern is green ass. Like if you eat too much cheap Captain Crunch, the fake Captain Crunch that'll do that to you.
Colonel O's.
Colonel O's or Frosty Bombs, whatever they call them. That's that Aldi's cereal ass. So I mean, we had based on the rest of the DCU. I mean, go by. So and then we saw the original cut, which was fucking booty. Like, and here's the thing. I ain't a fucking look. I've gone to the theater to see every single one of those except for Aquaman because I was like, no, I ain't doing this show no more. By the time Aquaman came out, I was like, fuck this shit. I got better things to do. Right?
Right.
I say that to say the Snyder cut, it went. So I can't take my statements back from last week, but I'm saying this shit went. It was hard. It was dope. It was great. I loved it. It went 4 hours. It didn't feel like 4 hours.
It felt like 4 hours to me. It didn't
feel like 4 hours to me. Like I kept looking at it. Like I kept stopping the movie to see where it was. I'm like, damn, I'm an hour in. Damn, I'm hour and a half in. Like it didn't feel like it. So if you can make me feel like it ain't 4 hours, then I'm cool. I mean, maybe it's because I was doing other things, but I was paying attention enough. Like, I mean, it was good. And then they gave my man more time. Cyborg definitely fleshed him out a little bit more. And I'm one of the few people who actually like Ben Affleck's Batman. I know a lot of niggas didn't like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Bro, when they said it was gonna do Batman for Ben Affleck, I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. He's tall, he fits the build, and he's brooding. He didn't have to be a good actor. He just has to look like he's wealthy, and you put him in the suit. Like
he's the third best Batman to me.
Okay, so we have to make this right. We got to turn here. We both agree that Michael Keaton is one, correct?
Of course.
Okay, so then you're gonna go number 2 is Bale.
Number 2 is Bale, and then Ben Affleck.
Okay.
Because I'm not including Homeboy that does Batman in the animated series. I'm not including that. I'm talking about live action.
No,
Batman.
live action. Yeah.
Yeah, he's third best Batman. Clooney with the rubber nipples should be forgotten. Val Kilmer should just not have done it. But again, I can't blame them two. It was just, the movies were just booty. But Ben Affleck is my third favorite Batman, only because Michael 1989, Michael Keaton. I was a kid, like first time seeing Batman on the screen like that. Like he's always going to be number one. He's always going to be number one.
But it wasn't just that. Like he nailed that shit.
Oh, he did nail it. He definitely nailed it.
He nailed that shit.
And the thing about it is, a lot of people don't know that he was a comedian first, which makes it even better for me to know that he's able to cross over like that.
That's why he's in my top 5 favorite white people of all time.
So, like, yeah, the Snyder Cut was, bruh. I'll probably never watch it again because it's just too goddamn long. It didn't need to be that long. But I definitely enjoyed it. I forgot that he was the one who had done 300 back in the day, and I love 300. And so you see a lot of that in there, like the slow down. He was slowing down scenes that it was supposed to be fast, and it still looked cool. It was like, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. And so the one thing that they didn't get rid of though, that I think that they should have done, I can't stand the way the Flash runs.
Oh, I can't stand it.
He flaps his arms around. He looks like the little kid. He looks like the little unathletic kid that don't get picked for basketball, but he brings the basketball, so you got to let him play. Like, and
the ball is dope. It's a dope ass ball.
Right. It's like, oh man, he got the Spalding with the grip. Like, come on, he
Like he
runs
just
like
hit it with the Windex. Like the shit it just molds in your hands.
yeah. Other than that, though, it was cool, and I like all the extra stuff. You're right. There's basically maybe 5 or 6 scenes that I can remember from the original movie, even though I tried to block that shit out of my mind. But I liked it, dude. I liked it. I did like
it. We said this earlier. I said this to you earlier. It's better than Avengers 1. It's better than Avengers 2. It falls in, for me, it falls in the middle of most of the MCU. It's, the MCU, when it's the top tier stuff, it doesn't hold a candle to that. But what it did, like, there's so many different ways this could have gone, and then there's still so many different ways this could go. Like the sheer fact that they have 2 different cuts of the Justice League, they could be big dick in the entire scenario on this whole multiverse thing. Like they could be everything that they had in play for Snyder before. For those that don't know, the reason why there is even a Snyder cut almost 4 years later is because Snyder is the director, Zack Snyder, and his wife was the main producer. Their daughter committed suicide on the last leg of the production. So your director and your main producer are mom and pop. They had that trumps everything. So you lose your brass when it comes to the project. So he couldn't finish, and that's when bitch ass Whedon ass jumped in and started pissing people off, and made his own cut. And like, bro, Ben Affleck don't even look the same in this cut. Like he looked like the old man that had been doing it too long and had too many beers. Like he had been working out no more in Josh Whedon's cut. Cyborg had maybe 6 minutes of time in Whedon's cut, like total. You didn't see Darkseid at all. The everything with the mother boxes, Steppenwolf, like all of that. I was having a hard time even remembering Whedon's cut 90 minutes into this cut. Like, wait, did this even happen? Like, was he even here? I kept asking myself that. And I mean, it just, this is when DC takes itself seriously, because these are some ridiculous motherfuckers. Batman is a hero because he has a lot of money, because he has the resources to do so. You have to take that seriously for it to convey to a live action situation. And when it does, it can work. Nolan, we bringing it all back. He showed you how it can work. So to see Batman run it that way, to see Cyborg flexing like that, who don't want to see Gal Gadot? Hey, Gal. Hey, Gadot. Hey, girl. Congratulations. Come on the show whenever you want. We got enough room for you. You're always invited. You are always invited. I'm gonna leave it there. And even like Aquaman is a legit character, but he's got a trash ass name. And like, why do they need air bubbles if they can breathe underwater? But that's a whole nother thing. But which they didn't do technically, because this movie, I kept having to remind myself, because the timelines are all out of whack. This is supposed to happen before his original movie.
right.
So I had to keep reminding myself, this is 4 years old. Wait, this is 4 years old. But Cyborg is beastie. You know how I feel about Deathstroke. We talked about him on the show with the Arkham Knight series. Like, I wanted that Batman. I wanted Ben as Batman fighting that dude, my dude, Deathstroke. Yes. And all the endings were dope. DC didn't raise prices on Batman comic books. They're $6 now. And, they flexing a little bit, but they've also, I saw it today before we got on the show, that they said that there's no, as of right now, there is no intent to do anything extra from what was done in the Snyder Cut, which I think is another mistake by DC.
Yeah, he's showing what they can do.
They wanted to fire him after B versus S, which I understood, because you and I both know that story.
Martha. My mother's name is Martha. Let's be
Right.
friends. Yeah.
Right. You destroyed the story, Doomsday and Lex Luthor all at the same time. Like, I get why you wanted to fire him. But this, and I understand why it was 4 hours, because he's like, I'm never going to get to use this footage again. I'm going to put all this shit together and make it make sense. You said it before we got on the show. It should have been a mini series. I completely agree. This could have been 3 parts or 4, however you wanted to do it, and it would have been just fine. I say all that to say, if they don't move off of this is why DC is in second, and there's a big gap between them and the MCU, because nothing Josh Whedon did says that we need to continue to move forward with that. Like, nothing. Like, this does. This says, like, yo, we've got 7 stories that we can build from this. And then we could bring it all back together with the multiverse, with the multiple Batmans, with the multiple Flashes.
They were Easter egging a lot of stuff in the movies too. But one thing I didn't like was the epilogue. I thought it was too long. See, the one mistake that I think that they made in certain parts of the movie was they said too much instead of just showing it. Movies are visual for a reason. And so there's certain parts where, like, there's a particular scene in where all of the Justice League folks was kind of talking about something, and Aquaman's like, well, why did that happen? And then some guy gave him an explanation instead of like something that could have just been shown visually. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then when you get to the epilogue, if anybody knows about the Batman storyline and the future when he had like the cult following and all that stuff, that's what that looked like to me. I don't know if that is, but that's what it looked like. But I think the epilogue was kind of shitty. It took too long. There was too much fucking talking. It's like Cyborg is, and I don't want to. Like, no, spoil it. Spoil all the shit. You remember? You know what he was saying, right? He was like, "Man, we need to go because they're gonna come back." But then Batman's sitting there listening to the worst Joker of all time talk for 10 minutes. It's like, what the fuck, Joe? Slap the shit out of this nigga and go. Like, just go. Like, I love when Batman beats the hell out of Joker. You could have just thrown that in, and let's go. But they talked for 10 minutes and then they got rolled up on by a very angry Superman. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of the fanboys are gonna know that storyline. A lot of the fanboys are gonna know. And for the people that don't, you crumb that shit out just enough for them to be like, oh shit, what are they talking about? But to have that entire conversation, it kind of ruined it. Because Joker spelled out the fact that Homegirl, passed away and why dude was mad. Like, don't do all that. You don't have to do all of that shit. Just to see Homeboy mad and about ready to kill people who was his homies, to see Deathstroke with him, and Deathstroke is Batman's like arch nemesis, and they all on the same side right there. That's enough. You don't even got to say nothing else. It's gonna be like, oh shit, oh, I want to see what's next. Well, that's to me, I think that's Snyder was like, I'm gonna give them every cut I did, and they getting all the DVD extras, they getting all the deleted scenes in one cut. Like, I think that's how we got to that point, because there was like 3 endings, at least that I counted. Right. I thought like, again, I told you I checked the time. When the story was over, like the main story was over, I clicked it. I'm like, what the fuck is 30 minutes left? What the fuck is this 30 extra minutes for? Right. And it literally was 30 extra minutes. Like, what's going on? I was like, what are you going to do after this? Why is it going to be 30 more minutes? Right. I got stuff to do. Like, I had to go run some errands after I finished that, and I had to wait it out because it was extra 30 minutes.
I did, bro, I'm not even lying. I did the same thing. I was like, oh, so Darkseid is going to show up then. He coming back. He has to come back, and he didn't come back.
Right.
Like he just looked at Steppenwolf, and you talk about an arc of a villain. Like he worked his way up and got beat the fuck down. Like he got beat down while they were doing other shit. And then they finished that other shit and he was still getting beat down. I was like, God damn.
By a guy that up to that point didn't have much screen time. So he was trying to get it in. He was like,
right.
Whop, 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 whop. 5 minutes later, bam, bam.
He beat him like your big cousin do when you go visit him. Like he just got on top. Say something. Scream, I bet you I'm gonna knock your ass. Man, you better not say shit.
Shout out to my cousin Antrione. He used to do that every summer, man. Put a couch pillow on top of you on one end and just you bet not tell. You bet not tell. Auntie come home, you got a black eye and a busted lip. What happened? I fell.
Nothing.
Right.
I tripped. I tripped.
Like 7 times.
In a row. By myself.
Superman beat the hell out of that dude like that Asian woman beat the hell out of that white boy.
And on that note, we're done. We're done. This has been Brother Language, approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. We appreciate y'all watching and listening, and you can check us out on Instagram and Twitter. It's the handle's the same. It is BLACKAZFUK. You know what that say. So we will be back next week. We are here every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My co-host B Walt, always a pleasure. Hopefully Markezovich will be back and everything will be good to go. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Deuces. Peace.
Language approaching conversation kinetically about fiction. This is Blackest